Well, before we continue, we yesterday we were talking about culture shock. This kind of feeling of uncertainty or confusion that you feel when you travel to or you when you live in another country. And yesterday we were checking some very nice questions about the topic. But I have some other questions that, well, not questions, some sentences. And I want you to tell me if you agree with these sentences or not. So can you read the first sentence, Alex?
Yeah, sure, teacher. It says experiencing different cultures allows you to gain insights into diverse ways of
Diverse.
life. Diverse ways of life.
Okay. Experiencing different cultures allows you to. What do you think of this, guys? Do you think it is true or false?
100% true.
Sure. Okay. But how do you think you could gain insights into different ways of life, Alex?
Reading books. Uh, I don't know if maybe watching films could be another. Visiting museums
Yeah,
and
it is a way to experience different cultures. Yeah. So you said reading books, watching movies, visiting museums. hmm What else?
well, nowadays it is becoming very popular. These kind of videos on YouTube where people just walk around the most famous cities in the world. They are just walking and recording what they see. They don't even speak, but it is a good way to see, to get to know how that city looks like, and how the people that live there, uh, what they do in a common day.
Living in that country.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. That could be another way. Yes, Diana, what do you think of this phrase? Do you
Experiences.
think it's true?
Yes, I will. It's true. Um, you never back like you go.
Yeah, you never come back the same way as you left. Yeah.
Yes, the same
Okay.
way.
And in which
Um,
ways could you gain insight into the culture in Colombia? What were the ways the ways that you use in order to have a better understanding of the culture?
mm,
For example, did you go to parties there? Did you visit museums? Did
yes,
you tell us about
yes, teacher. Well, when I arrived there, mm, I wanted to know everything, and I visit the
you visited?
Monserrate. Visited
Uh-huh.
the Monserrate is a famous place. It's a church in
Uh-huh.
a bigger I don't know how to say cerro
A hill in a bigger hill.
in a bigger hill.
Uh-huh.
Well, I visit the Gold Museum and some parks, some famous parks, famous churches there. Um, and there are similar here about Paris, like pink zones.
Okay.
There
Uh-huh.
is tea zones, sonate.
And
And
what is that?
is too similar here, pink zones, when
Uh,
it's a place, it's a street
uh,
where you could do parties all the time.
Oh.
Yes, well, is speaking about Bogota, but if you go to different
Mhm.
cities in Colombia, for example, if you go to Barranquilla, you can visit three cities nearest. For example, Barranquilla, Santa Marta, and Cartagena. You can
Mhm.
travel around by bus there,
Mhm.
and is near of the airport. You can visit beaches, but I think they are not so beautiful. I think we have the best beaches here. And if you travel Cancun or Los Cabos, the beaches are so beautiful. Mhm.
So if you travel to Cancun or if you travel to Los Cabos, you think they are more beautiful than
Yes, they are
the
more
ones they have.
beautiful than that part to Colombia. I think so. Mhm.
Okay. Well, someday I will visit Colombia. Why not?
Yes,
Well,
it's
next,
cheaper, teacher, believe
uh,
me. I go
yeah.
every time because it's cheaper to me. Well, not cheaper to me, but it's cheaper than other countries.
Okay, okay. I will consider it because I am planning to travel to Spain. But after that, I think Colombia would be a nice place.
We
Well,
have
I have, uh-huh, yes,
sorry.
yes,
We
yes, tell
have
me.
we are paying travel is on November 2, like your travel teacher is with Gavita and other person
Other, another
to
person? Mhm.
other person, my new close friend.
Ah, your new boyfriend, Diana. Another
But
person like him.
my new, that sounds rare.
Sorry.
But
If he's your
we
boyfriend, you have to accept it. Maybe he's watching the class and he will know.
no, because it's recording the class.
Okay. Well, I
We
think it
will
is a good thing. Yes.
and we will do escala. I
Yeah, like a connection. Mhm.
we will a connection in Spain, in Madrid, just because all travel is in Egypt,
Oh,
in
wow.
the Nilo River. Our stance is there in the Nilo rivers. Mhm.
Nice.
Um,
Nice,
yes,
Diana.
we will travel on November 2, teacher.
November. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
maybe we can say hello there.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember the specific date, but I pass it.
Okay.
Maybe we can take a coffee there
Excellent.
in Madrid.
Next line. Can you read it, Diana, please?
Yes. Traveling expensively
Extensive. Mhm.
helps individuals gain a cheaper
A
understand
deeper. A
a,
deeper.
a deeper understanding of cultural nuances.
Cultural nuances is like the principles of culture, like the things that you can notice about culture.
Yes.
So in your case, Alex, are you planning to travel? Well, do you agree with this? And if you are planning to travel somewhere to know a different culture?
Well, I agree with the statement of the sentence. And yeah, actually, I've been thinking about traveling to Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah, because, well, as Diana said, Argentina is also cheaper, just as Colombia. And nowadays, you know how the economic environment is going in Argentina. So I'd like to take advantage of it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be
uh,
it would be nice to travel to Argentina. I've been thinking about it for a while.
and what places in Argentina would you like to know?
La Patagonia.
La Patagonia and Buenos Aires, of course.
I have many friends now in Argentina because in the course I am taking, there are people all around the world, and many of them are from Argentina. So yesterday I was chatting to an English teacher. She's from Argentina, and we were having a chat about the situation that they are living there. Mhm.
Mm.
So sometimes I remember the first day of this, the most recent problem they had. Um, some of them sounded really worried. So I don't know. People complain about our government in Mexico, but I don't know why do they complain. Well, why they complain if we are not so bad, not as bad as they are. So I really appreciate that we are not in that same situation because they are living something horrible. And as you said, well, it would be nice to take advantage of this and travel there, yeah. But in your case, Alex, what are some things that you would like to do there?
Uh, Try their food. Yeah, especially their barbecues.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's something I would like to do. I also like to just walk in the Buenos Aires streets. And in the Patagonia, well, what you can do there is to ah, observar el paisaje, pero hay como
To to appreciate the landscape.
yeah, to appreciate the landscape, to enjoy the landscape, and also the
Mhm.
weather, because
Mm-hmm.
there is
Yes.
a weather that I have never experienced before.
It is very cold, I think, in some
Yeah.
places.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. The video says that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
And
and
also
in your
getting to know some,
yes,
well, no,
it's okay. It's okay. Tell us.
no,
What
no.
were you were going to say something curious? Let's say curious. Well, Diana, what other places would you like to visit?
Would you like to visit?
Mhm,
Well, I would like to visit Egypt.
mhm.
And it's in the near
That is
future.
why you are traveling. Yeah?
Yes, I I travel on November, but well, I would like to visit June. This place, ay, when Australia too, when they are the extinct animals,
Uh,
or what other place? Well, here I have a lot of places that I would like to know. I would like
okay.
to visit. Mm-hmm.
Well, can you read the next line, Diana?
Yes, education about various customs and traditions helps individuals gain cultural awareness,
Awareness.
awareness,
Awareness.
gain
Uh-huh.
cultural awareness.
Gain cultural awareness. Uh-huh. So do
Uh-huh.
you think that these traditions and customs that you encounter in Colombia help you to understand their culture at least better than before?
Mm, gain cultures. Well, for example, with I think collaborating people or helper people,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's similar here in Mexico. they are these kind of people. I think so.
Like they always try to help and be nice. Mm.
Yes.
I think
But
it is common in some Latin American countries. No, I don't know if it is in all of them, but I think it is very common. Yeah, we have
mhm.
like this kind of being, but I also believe that in Mexico it is even more how do you say this, more ingrained in culture. Like you are a nice person, you try to help others, and in some
Mhm.
cultures it is not so enrooted. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yes, I'm rooted. And about the religion, I think it's similar.
very similar. Okay. And what about you, Alex? What do you think of the customs of how can these customs and traditions help you to gain this cultural awareness about the country?
Mm, Well, because you get to know, it helps because you get to know things
Mm,
different or even very different to what you are used to eat,
mm.
to see, and to celebrate. And then you can find several ways of thinking not similar
Is,
to yours.
is there any tradition from any other country that especially attracts your attention? For example, in Alaska, well, my sister has been there, and once she told me that in Alaska, people get really depressed, so they need to get together. Every day they plan some time to be together with not only people with their family, but with friends. They need to go out sometimes because otherwise, if they stay at home with the bad weather. They become very depressed, so they need to have these kind of supporting teams. And for me it was like curious, yeah, because well, you do it just because you want. It is not an imposition, but there they need to do it. It is like a rule, so that they can watch on each other. So it attracted my attention. In your case, is there any tradition that you think well, it attracts your attention? Oops, we lost Alex. Maybe it was his connection. But what about you, Diana? Do you know any tradition that you think it is like curious?
Oh, yes. For example, in India
Uh-huh.
or in China, in there are some tradition. Mm, in this case, in India, for example, that the girls needs to cover all her faces,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
or in what are traditions?
Now
Well,
that you mention Egypt, are you aware of the culture and the traditions that they have there? Because it is important if you're traveling there. You don't
yes,
want
it's
to
about
break the rules. Uh-huh.
yes. About traditions and that part, it's great because all of the religion part started there, and maybe the River Nilo when the famous movie like Moises. And
Mhm.
well, I think is this country have a heavy it's a lot culture there about the pyramids there.
Pyramids. Mhm.
Pyramids are other important part about the about that history. They have other culture, no, other ideas. For example, if you speak about mummies, um, well,
I once I was talking to a friend who went to Germany. I don't know if it is true, but he was saying that in Germany people don't like talking about what happened in the Second World War with the Nazis. They try to avoid talking about it. It is like a taboo there. Uh-huh.
uh-huh,
So yeah, it is. I don't know if it is true, but he
uh-huh.
told me that when he wanted to take the topic, people try to avoid talking about it. So it for me it is another. Uh, I don't know if it is a tradition or a habit or a custom, but I think it is interesting. Maybe they feel ashamed, or maybe they feel afraid of I don't know, the government uh, interfering with their conversations. I don't know, but say that
Could
it
be,
was
teacher.
a cultural thing. So uh, I don't know if you know more about this kind of weird traditions.
No, teacher. I don't know
Okay.
what I will take care when I will go there.
And they say that, for example, they prefer you speaking Spanish rather than you speaking English. Uh-huh.
That sounds sometimes that is more common.
They prefer that you speak Spanish. So I don't know. Well, next sentence, please.
Living abroad can help you gain a new perspective on your own
Cultural values.
cultural values.
Uh-huh. So, do you think it is true? Like, when you go to a foreign country, you evaluate your own values and your own culture, and you say, I think my culture is better or not so good as theirs. So, no, sorry, did it happen to you that after visiting Colombia, you had a different perspective of Mexico?
No, I'm, I think that no, but because it's too similar. But I think in other countries, yes, you gain a new perspective because, for example, the discipline in
Asia. Mhm.
The Asian countries is too rigid. Um, in Latin America, is no too common to
Mhm.
be full disciplined.
Discipline.
Discipline.
Okay. Well, it could happen. Well, next one. Can you read it?
Yes. Overcoming culture shock often involves adapting to a new way of life.
Uh-huh. Did you have to, when you traveled to Colombia, was there any significant change in the way you were living?
Not really, but I think yes, you are going to adapting because the in some places the schedule is different.
Mhm.
Uh, yes, and the food is different too. Um, yeah.
Okay. Well, so uh, check it. This sentence is a little bit tricky. Alex, welcome again. Can you read this sentence?
No sé.
He disappeared.
Navigating Unfamiliar environments becomes easier once you find your way around. Yeah, once you find your way
Uh-huh.
around.
So what do you think with about this sentence? Do you think that it becomes easier once you find you get more familiarized with the city or with the place, with the costumes, with the traditions, or do you think it is going to continue being difficult?
No, of course, it becomes easier once you get used to things that you were not used to
To
previously.
doing? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Okay.
everything, not only customs, but everything in life becomes easier once you get familiar with that thing.
Okay, I agree with you. Diana, was it difficult for you to find your way around Colombia or not so difficult?
No, no, was too difficult to find
But
different.
because of your friends or who helped you find your way around Colombia?
Yeah, my friends told me all the places, all the restaurants. Well,
The
they
the, the
told me,
places that you should avoid, I think.
yeah, yeah, that's right. You should
Here in
avoid.
Mexico, you would say, don't go to Tepito. Or
Yeah.
try to avoid being
You
near
can go, but
Iztapalapa.
you just have to know the place.
Yeah.
You know which part of the Pito you can go.
Uh-huh. Beautiful place, Tepito. Mhm.
I wouldn't say so, but but it is becoming kind of popular recently, especially
Yeah.
in young people.
Yeah, a lot of influencers go there, yeah.
Yeah, because of the michelada tradition they have.
Yes, de Lupillo Micheladas.
You
Ah,
see,
yeah.
Diana has been there.
Of course, I was a student when I was younger.
Uh,
When I was younger.
oops. Beautiful times.
Oh, so sad.
Okay, well, next sentence, Diana, can you read it?
Yes, understanding cultural differences
Differences?
can pave the way for meaningful cross-cultural connections.
Pave the way. What is the meaning of this phrase? Pave the way.
No
The
sé,
ways.
I don't know.
No? What do you think it means, Alex?
Mhm.
Pave the way.
And improve yourself? No.
It has to do with that.
Okay,
Pave the
that
way.
something could be
Ah, could be what?
worth.
Yes, but it means that when you pave the way for something, you are the first to do something. Uh-huh. For example, some teachers some years ago, they paved the way for online education. They were the first to look for the tools, use the tools. Maybe they recommended some tools. Uh-huh. So, for example, the formation that, well, the course I am taking now is being given by an Argentinian guy who started like 12 years ago teaching online. So I am new because I have only been teaching online for 2 or 3 years. But he was or he is one of the ones who paved the way for online education, who were the first to build something or to use
Okay.
something. Mhm. So if you understand, they are saying if you understand cultural differences, it can help you to start something talking about meaningful cross-cultural connections, like making connections with people from there. Uh-huh. So do you think that it could be a good thing to start with cultural differences to start talking about it, Alex?
Yes, teacher, of course. Yeah.
And
Mm,
and uh-huh. What could be some things that you consider you would like to pave the way for, or that you have paved the way for to be one of the first?
I don't think I have never been the first in something, in doing something.
Maybe, for example, in my case, I would like to pave the way for more spiritual education. Mhm. I want to start two things. The job interview webinar, well, not webinar, a workshop for 2 or 3 months, just teaching how people how to take a job interview in English. I want to be like just specializing on that. Maybe I am not paving the way, but for me it will be a new thing. And also, I would like to start a course in leadership, but spiritual leadership. No, not about religion. No, but some kind of leadership that considers the spiritual part of people. So I want to be the one who paves the way for
Sounds
that.
nice, teacher.
And what about you? Is there something that you would like to be one of the first
I would
and
like
pave
to
it?
pave the way for Polytechnico to add more subjects related to mining in geological engineer major. That's something I'd love to pave the way for.
Something more specialized, maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And what would be something to consider, to include in these subjects?
Practical courses, because you can find the theory in books or even in the classes, but real life is really different. It's another cup of tea.
Okay, yes. And you, Diana, is there something that you would like to pave the way for?
Would you like to pay the way for?
To be one of the first to do something.
Mm. Well, well, I have a, I don't know if the idea, but for example, if I travel abroad, I would like to copy some kind of business that doesn't exist here,
Mhm.
and I would like to pave the way for implement here.
To implement it here. But what kind of courses?
Mm, well, in this moment, I don't know an a specific,
Okay,
but
you need to start thinking about.
yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
I think you get the idea. Uh-huh. To be one of the first to start with something. Mhm. To pave the way is like to put the how do you say this? The bricks for the way for the people who come behind. Uh-huh. Behind you. The people who come after you. Uh-huh. So think about it, Diana.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Then do you know the meaning of expatriates?
Expatriate.
Uh-huh. They are people who permanently, or at least for a long time, they live in another country. Mhm. So expatriates often need to make cultural adjustments when relocating to a new country. What could be some of these cultural adjustments that you can consider? Yes, Alex.
To make So the
Mm,
sentence is saying that someone who has lived in another country goes to live to another new country.
No. I mean, these people who go and live in another country need to make changes into their own culture, like their own values. Well, not values, but these adjustments need to adapt or help them to adapt to a new country. So, what could be
Well,
some of these adjustments?
you need to get adapted to the food. And if you are Mexican, you have to get adapted to non so delicious food.
Yes. Well, it also depends on the country, but I
Oh, teacher,
consider
Mexican food is the best in the world.
why
Well,
not?
that's my point of view. That's my person.
Yes.
I deeply
I,
believe so.
Uh-huh. I remember, maybe it has nothing to do, but I was telling you about this the other day. This Colombian girl saying, you need to travel more, teacher, because you don't know Latin America. And I said, you need to read more. Yeah. We're talking about reggaeton and these kind of things, but I think that could be one of the things that sometimes you have to adjust to a different kind of music, to different food, and also I would say different traditions. Imagine no more um, no more 16 of September, or no
No,
more
come
That's my
on.
favorite date.
uh,
Yes.
or no more. Well, Christmas is more international, but in some countries they don't celebrate Christmas. So
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
mhm, no Mother's Day. So, you could say, what about this? So you could try
Well,
to do it.
I
The
prefer St. Patrick's
posadas.
Day.
Imagine living without posadas. A
Yes.
December without posadas.
Well, nowadays I am not invited to these
Oh God.
beautiful celebrations. Well, so, next sentence, Diana, please.
It's essential to make connections with locals to truly understand a culture.
The culture, yes. So, was it important for you to make, or how important was it for you to make connections with locals in Colombia?
Yes, it
But why?
was
Uh,
it it was too important to make connection them with them because they told me when I when visit different places, in what place
fantastic.
is cheaper
Mhm.
than others, what places yes, what's not, the supermarkets, malls, and what more? Maybe different, I don't know, well, marks,
Different
kind
market.
of products. No, maybe
Okay,
different
brands.
kind of products.
Brands.
And what more? The exchange rate, where you can change your money, that place you receive more money.
You receive more money.
What is the play? What was the best place
Okay.
when you
Well,
can change your money?
excellent. And in your case, Alex, um, do you think you will find it easy to make connections with locals if you travel? I don't know. You mentioned which country you mentioned? You wanted to
Argentina.
Argentina.
Argentina. Do you think it would be easy?
I don't know, teacher, because it has been said that people from Argentina could be kind of, how can we say,
Not
they
friendly.
not so friendly, and let me look for the right adjective. They could be selfish,
I
so
don't think they
that could
are
be a
like that.
problem.
I think it is. a cliche. Well, the people from Argentina that I have met well, the majority, not all of them, but the majority were or have been really nice. There was just a lady who was like, "Oh, lose yourself," but the rest of them, and I have met many, have been very nice, very, very nice. So I think there are some cliches that sometimes just by traveling and meeting more people from that country, you can take out of or from your mind. So the one thing that, well, one of the things that sometimes they said also is that Argentinian people don't especially like Mexican people. So there is some kind of, how do you say this, um,
Because
competition.
they are jealous.
I don't know if they are jealous, but they say that, but it can also be another cliche. So my advice for you, Alex, as you are young, try to visit places. If you ever go to Argentina, try to visit places where you can meet people with your same kind of thinking first. For example, in a
Okay.
school that is related to your topics of interest. That could be a beginning in order to make connections with locals.
Thank you, teacher.
Not locals, no, locals.
No, teacher.
Okay, the next line, please, uh, Alex.
Learning the local language can make the transition smoother when experiencing
Uh,
culture shock.
Smoother, like easier, let's say.
Softer.
So, do you think that learning the local language, not well, sometimes in the case of Diana, and in your case, if you visit Argentina, the language is going to be the same or similar. But in the case of Gabby, she's planning to go to England, and if her English is not so good, well, she may experience some problems. But her English is improving. So, what do you think can be difficult about the language? For example, if you visit Argentina, what could be the difficulties about the local language?
The words that they use in certain parts of Argentina, because although or in both countries, Spanish is the native language,
Uh-huh.
you know that every country has its own slang. And overall, in different parts of a country, you can find different slang and words that are not so common. That would be the difficult part.
I agree with you. Okay, this kind of, as you said, slang or this kind of, yeah, funny words that we sometimes use.
Funny.
What was there in your case, Diana? Was or were there any words that you consider difficult from Colombian people?
No, actually, but I think yes, there are mm, some words that the meaning is different
Mm-hmm.
or it's similar to Mexico City. Mexico City, I think so. For
Okay, okay.
example, there are some cognados or what is this kind of
Cognates.
cognate like chimba?
Chimba. What is this?
Chimba. Yes, it's similar to here in Mexico. I don't know, but
Like
I don't
the,
remember the name, but que chimba está pues muy chido,
oh,
está, yeah, it's something like that. But you can use in negative form too. There are a lot of meanings.
okay. Well, let's read something. This is interesting. This reading is interesting. Let's find out more about a girl who was traveling to, well, who was living abroad for some time. Uh-huh. So let me erase this. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Well, it says culture shock. Number one, read Joyce's blog about living in London. Uh-huh. The two questions. Can you read the two questions, Alex, please?
Yes. Why does she compare culture to an iceberg? And number two, what is her final piece of advice to people going to live in another culture?
Okay. Well, let's start reading the text. The first paragraph, the first and the second paragraph. Can you start, Diana?
Yes, teacher. Today marks exactly 1 year since I came to London. When I made the decision to leave Singapore, I was incredibly exciting.
Incredibly.
Incredibly exciting. Soon, though, I have to face the challenge of experiencing and a different way of life. It hasn't always been easy living on literally the other side of the world. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that people who have grown up in different
Have grown up.
places, grow
Who have,
up, grown
mhm.
up in different places have different way of behaving, thinking and expressing themselves. Before I set off on my adventure, I have certain of
Images.
images of English people. Polite, serious people, always drinking tea, obsessed with
Obsessed.
obsessed with the weather. These thing, these things aren't exactly false, but they're only the tip of the iceberg. I soon realized that people behavior wasn't always consistent with my preconception.
Uh-huh. My
Preconception.
conceptions. Okay. Well, can you continue, Alex?
Let's start with the things I love. London is a big, bustling, cosmopolitan city. So, in that respect, things were not totally new for me. There are lots of things to do all year round, and I can go to museums, musicals, and plays whenever I want. Also, because of where London is, I can easily just pop over to Paris or Brussels for a weekend gateway.
Uh-huh. For a weekend getaway. Uh-huh. When you just escape for the weekend, uh-huh, to another country in this case. Well, then let's continue. The next paragraph, Alex, please.
Yes. But after going through the tourist phase of finding everything completely new and exciting, more and more things started to surprise me. I discovered the iceberg hidden under the weather and started to gain some insights into British culture. For example, some of the TV programs and newspaper were a bit of a shock. Sometimes it seems that in the media, anything goes. How does that mean?
Uh-huh.
I
Which
mean,
one?
what does that mean?
Anything
That
goes?
sentence. Some things it seems that in the media anything goes.
Aha, that everything happens in the media. Like they put everything. They don't measure anything. Like everything goes directly to the media. Uh-huh.
Okay. The English sense of humor is really interesting too. A lot of the time, it is really self-depreciating humor,
Deprecating, self-deprecating.
deprecating, deprecating humor. Sometimes it can be quite obvious and crude and not at all polite. At other times, you don't really know if they are being sarcastic or being serious. It took me a while to get used to that and read between the lines, but it helped to watch a lot of chat shows and comedies. English people love watching TV. In fact, that's what a lot of their conversation and cultural reference are about. In fact, these programs are a rich source of information about the British and the British way of life.
Okay, so if you are traveling to England, in this case, Gabby is traveling to England, she should start watching TV, English TV and English series. And I think it is right. Self-deprecating means this kind of behavior in which you expose yourself to others in a way that sometimes it is kind of humiliating sometimes. And they
Just
do it a lot.
make fun of themselves, right?
They make fun of themselves. That is why she says, like, sometimes it is crude, and not at all polite, because it is not only with them but with other English people. They make fun of their own culture a lot, but in a sarcastic way, not in a funny way, but sarcastic. I don't know if you have watched this. Well, there are a lot of TV series, but there is one. Uh, this one, the Black Mirror. The first chapter is about a little bit about this, how they try to humiliate politicians in a horrible way. So if you have the chance,
That's the
for me,
second chapter, I guess.
the second, well, I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really remember if it is the first. For me, it was the first I watched, and I didn't want to continue watching that TV series. It was too much for me. I said they are crazy. So, and also, for example, it could be nice to learn a little bit about history. It can explain many things. Well, can you continue, Diana, with the next two paragraphs?
Yes, teacher. All this got thinking about culture, not just in England, but everywhere. It's like a kind of social glue. It holds society together.
Society?
Society together. We learn about the culture of our own society in a very natural way as we grow up. It's the do's and don't about how we treat people.
The do's
What
and don'ts. The do's and don'ts.
and
Uh-huh.
don't. What is acceptable behavior?
So they
The
are telling you that um, this kind of society and the things that you learn about culture tell you about what to do and what not to do with this culture. So if you are, I don't know if there are many TV shows available here in Mexico from Egypt, or if they are translated into Spanish. You should start by watching TV from 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 this country. It could help you out. Yeah,
yes,
I
we
think.
need to start to see some watching
Mhm.
TVs.
And maybe reading something about the culture and the country. Well,
Yes,
the
teacher,
next,
you're
sorry.
right. Okay, the aspects of culture you can see are based on those values and belief that you can't. It will take a long time to understand those deeply held values and belief because you have to notice,
To notice them.
to notice them slowly and work them out.
Okay. So they are telling you it is important to know their values and their beliefs from this culture before, even before you go. Because as she says, you will notice them slowly. And maybe when you are there it would be too late. So if you start now, you will be better prepared. Well, Alex, can you read the last paragraph, please?
Yes. My advice to anyone going to a new country is this: don't be afraid to try out new things. That's the whole point of going and how you gain experience. But before you go, check out good websites for information about the place and get a good guidebook. When you are there, explore it as much as you can. Get out and make friends with real people. You'll find that the more you do, the more you'll gain confidence.
Okay, okay. So the original questions that they ask you to answer. Why does she compare culture to an iceberg? An iceberg.
Because
Because
she,
there are a lot of things
Okay,
that
again, Diana, can you repeat it? Sorry.
because there are a lot of things that they know that in that country is different.
Okay, so what you know actually is just this, like the cliches could be just this part of the real culture. Uh-huh. Okay, and you, Alex, you were trying to say something.
yeah, the same. And when you travel to the country and you get to know local people, you you get to know the rest of the iceberg.
Uh-huh. What would be some of the cliches that people have from us, from people from Mexico?
Mariachi, Chile,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mariachi, chili, and drugs.
yeah, and
And
Narco-Mexico, unfortunately.
And the hat,
the what?
the hat.
The people wearing hats. Uh-huh. Mhm. I remember I have a Japanese friend. Uh, she's really nice. I love her. Her name is Masumi-san. Uh-huh. And from time to time we communicate. And I remember when I met her, she said that Mexico was very different from what she knew or what she thought. Uh-huh. And I think the most incredible thing for her was that people were so helpful. We always wanted to be with her, even though she didn't speak any Spanish. I was the only one uh, like talking to her. My family was trying to communicate, but it was without my help. It was very difficult. And I remember once we were at a party with my family. Uh, all the family were there, and she was there too. And we arrived after all the party had started. And I said, okay, help yourself. Take any food that you want. So she went and took some bread, and she cut the bread into halves, and she put some beans there,
In the bread.
and in the bread. Some She took some beans, put it there, and she started. Well, she took her glass and she poured some soda, and then she started chopping the bread in the soda, and
No,
everyone
no.
was like, uh-huh. But for us, it was very surprising. But later on, when we went to a Japanese restaurant, she explained that this well, they have a special dish that it is with beans, but beans there are usually sweet. Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay,
And
yeah.
and she was doing that because it goes together with that. It was sweet, and for her it was normal. But my family was like, what is she doing? So a lot of things like that. And once I told her that if she wanted to drive, if she had a license, well, she had an international driving license, so she could use it here. And she said no, that it was horrible to drive in Mexico. It was almost impossible for her. And I had never thought about it. She said that people drive horribly here in Mexico, but for us it is normal. Yeah. So she said, it is a jungle, Israel's son. Driving in Mexico is a jungle. She said something like that. So she didn't want to drive here. So these kind of things, like we know very little about this culture, and we usually have this preconception. She thought that there were very few cars in Mexico. Like nobody has a car in Mexico. But then she discovered that it was even worse than Japan. Okay. And Diana, what is the final piece of advice that she gives us? If you are going to live in another country.
Advice?
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Do you remember what she says at the end?
no, teacher.
Okay, let's go back a little. Ay, 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 ay. Uh-huh. It says, my advice to anyone going to a new country is this. Don't be afraid to try out new things. Uh-huh. So if you're going to Egypt, try new things. Just be careful. Uh-huh. If you see people with a
Just
gun,
be careful.
I think it is not, not an option. Uh-huh. And check out good websites for information about the place and get a guidebook, a good guidebook. Uh-huh. If you don't have a guidebook about Egypt, start
Oh, yeah.
saving money for it. Mm-hmm.
I think so. We will guidebook.
Uh-huh. You need a guidebook. And another thing, get out and make, well, when you are there, get out and make friends with real. Mm-hmm. So would you be willing to do it, Diana? To make friends and experience new things in Egypt?
Yes, I would like to know. I would like to meet friends, new friends there.
Maybe the love of your life, Diana, is in
No,
Egypt.
teacher.
Maybe.
My real
I
love is
don't
here
know.
in Mexico City.
Sorry, Diana, but my love belongs to my mother.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
used to
teacher.
say this phrase, I am, in Spanish, soy un hombre de una sola mujer, my mother. No, 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 just a joke. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, well, Alex, would you be willing to follow the advice in case you go to Argentina?
Yes, teacher, for sure. Yeah.
Do you watch any TV programs from Argentina or websites?
Yeah, websites, YouTube channels overall.
Is there any influencer from Argentina that you follow?
Not really, teacher.
Maybe that could be the beginning. Mhm. Yeah, nowadays, well, I know a little bit about about politics in Argentina, but I don't know much. So that could explain a lot. I remember when all these crises started, not this year, but many years ago. I think it has been a very long time since they are suffering this. Um, I got this reference that they were living a very luxurious life in, well, the majority of the people in Argentina without having the real richness of a country. For example, in some other countries, they live a luxurious life because they really have the money. But in some other countries, they try to pretend. And I think it was the problem that they were trying to pretend to have more than they really have or they really had. And it could be, well, what they were living or they are living could be a consequence. I don't really know. Maybe I am wrong, but it was my perception when I was young. Argentinian people were trying to say, look at us. We have a lot of this and this and this. Uh-huh. But they were not really so rich. And all the country was doing that. So maybe it was part of the problem. Yeah. I don't. Well, if there is someone for Argentina watching this, please let us know if we are wrong. Well, some questions to discuss apart from the ones we have been discussing. So the first one, Diana,
What other dancers? Sorry. Part 3, right? War in the small
Uh-huh.
groups, and this is the questions. Okay,
Mhm.
1. What are the dancer of making general
The
statement?
dangers. What are the
The
dangers?
dangers, sorry. What are
Uh-huh.
the dangers of making general statements about national characteristics?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
2,
general statements. Uh-huh. And number two,
what generalization what generalizations are made about people from your country? Do you agree with them?
okay, well, we discussed number two, but number one, what could be the dangers if you, for example, if you make these general statements about people from one country that you really don't know? What could be bad about it? What could be danger?
Maybe driving could be.
Driving,
Mm, Driving is like
my
or
friend. Hmm.
your friend, yeah, because I know a Canadian person that she
Uh-huh.
said that
Uh,
if you driving there like you driving here, you maybe started in the jail.
you will go to jail. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. So
because
you
it's
should
a
learn to
crime.
drive. Uh-huh.
Because it's a crime, no respect the law.
Uh-huh. Okay. That could be helpful, a lot helpful. Uh-huh. So we need to learn these kind of specific things also. Uh-huh. Okay. And in your opinion, Alex, what could be the dangers of making this general statement?
Well, we were talking about what has been said or what it's been said about people from Argentina that they could be arrogant and selfish.
Mm-hmm.
That statement could drive you to not to visit Argentina.
Mm-hmm. And to get some kind of attitude or bad attitude towards people from Argentina, yeah. Mhm.
Yes, also.
And maybe you are not really connecting with people because you have this kind of thought in your mind. Mhm. Very, very I don't know,
Great
surprising.
advice.
Good
Don't do
advice.
that.
And what could be, well, we talk about the generalization that people from other countries make about Mexico, about our country. Do you agree with them? Are they always right? Because in, well, somehow they are right. We eat a lot of chile. There is a lot of problems with drugs and those things. And but it is not the
Not
only thing.
everything where they have.
Not everything is like that. So what could be something that they will be missing if they have these preconceptions or generalization?
For example, when the people abroad think the Mexican people wearing
Uh-huh.
Charles looks or mariachis looks.
Yeah, they think that everybody wears the same clothes. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
but it is beautiful.
they could also be missing our beautiful traditions
Some other
and
tradition. Uh-huh.
the good things we have. Like we have a beautiful city, the biggest in the world. And it is my perception that we have some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, our delicious food,
Yeah. So
and our colorful celebrations.
if they let these preconceptions or generalizations interrupt or block their minds, maybe they are missing a lot of good things that there are in the country.
They are missing the big picture.
Mhm. The beautiful picture. Well, then in number one, it says, the phrase tip of the iceberg is made, well, the vocabulary spot. Sorry. It says, it is important to know which words collocate commonly with, or that commonly go together. A good dictionary will tell you this. When you see or hear examples of new collocations, make a note of them. For example, culture shock. That is one. Culture shock. Make a decision. Incredibly exciting. Acceptable behavior. So culture is what part of a speech? A verb, an adjective, a noun.
A
What would
noun,
you
I
say?
guess.
Uh-huh. And shock?
An adjective.
An adjective? I think it is a noun too. Shocked with ed or shocking, they are adjectives. So this is a noun that it is made of noun plus, how can I don't know how to write it. Plus another noun. So you have a noun made of two other nouns. Because culture shock together is a noun. Then make a decision. It is a verb
and
plus
a
what?
noun.
Verb. Ay, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? I was writing. Well, a verb plus a noun. A verb plus, I don't know how to write it. Verb. I don't know. A verb and a noun. I don't know what am I doing, what I am doing. Okay, a verb plus a noun. Incredibly exciting. What could be that? Incredibly exciting.
An adjective plus an adjective.
Incredibly, an adverb.
Yeah, so
An adverb plus an adjective. Then acceptable behavior.
Adjective.
Adjective plus behavior. What is behavior?
Noun.
A noun. So as you can see, you have different collocations. Acceptable behavior is a noun together. All of them together. They make a noun. But it is made of an adjective and a noun. Incredibly exciting, I think it is an adjective. Incredibly exciting, but made of an adverb plus an adjective. Make a decision, it is a verb plus a noun. So you will find this, a lot of collocations like this. For example, here that we were checking. To gain insight, that is a collocation. Gain insights into something. Gain, well, you have a verb plus a noun. Gain a deeper understanding. A verb plus an adjective plus a noun. This one,
A bear
verb,
plus noun.
an adjective, cultural. And
Noun.
a noun. Gain a new perspective.
Verb, adjective,
Verb,
noun.
adjective, noun. And also a preposition, but that is just a dependent
Preposition
preposition.
on.
A new way of life.
Adjective,
Adjective,
noun.
adjective, noun, and another noun. Then find your way around.
Verb,
Verb, plus what?
way is noun.
A noun, and around a preposition.
Position.
Pave the way for something. Pave the way. The way. So,
Pave is a verb? No.
a verb, pave, and
Noun.
a noun. Okay.
Preposition.
Make cultural adjustments.
Verb,
Cultural
adjective,
adjective and
noun.
nouns. Okay, make connections with something.
Verb, noun.
Well, in this case, an extra preposition. And the last one, Alex?
Verb, noun,
A noun
and
smooth.
adjective.
And an adjective. Yes. So collocations can be made of different, how do you say this? Different kind of words, different parts of speech. Next class, we are going to check more of them. More collocations, very common collocations. And then we are going to start with some listening, I think. Some listening and some reading and use of English.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
I think that's my favorite part of the test. Reading and
use of English?
Yeah. Because it is related to grammar and I love grammar.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is like more specific about the exam. Not all the exams have this kind of sections. So we need to focus on that next class. Okay, guys?
Okay. Teacher, this,
Yes.
sorry, before I finish, this presentation is in the classroom?
On Google Classroom. I just added some extra frames.
Okay.
Right? Well, but it is the same. The one of Unit 1. Okay?
Okay.
Well, guys, enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, teacher.
Don't drink too much. Alex, Diana.
No, teacher, not a single drop.
Okay.
Have a nice weekend, teacher. And Diana, have a nice weekend with your close friend.
With your
Come on, Alejandro.
My sister is the same.
My roomie close friend. See you.
Okay. Because my sister says, he's not my boyfriend, he's just a friend. I said, maybe you don't know what he really is. So to start by making clear you are for each other, okay? So see you.
See you,
See you guys. Bye.